Yo, what is up, you sexy ass motherfuckers? Welcome back to another Total War League Season 8 Siege battle. This one is going to be off meta incorporated on the defense versus Einherjar on the attack. This battle is going to be a very interesting one, looking at the armies that have been chosen right before I started recording this one. Guys, if you like the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you love the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you guys hate the video, make sure to leave a comment below telling me exactly why you hate my sexy ass. But either way, guys, let's go ahead and start up the battle and look at some army compositions. Looking at the attacking forces at... Oh, wow. We already have 2 units of Gallic Hunters hidden, trying to snipe out the Greek Scorpion outside of the settlement, trying to get rid of it so they no longer have to deal with it, and they instantly sniped it out. Holy smokes! Fuck the army compositions. That was amazing. Now we got some artillery quickly shooting out the walls, trying to break them down. They have some tords here nearby, but we do have a little bit of cavalry sallying out. We got some steppe lancers quickly moving up to be able to try and take out the Illyrian raiders. And now that the archers have done their duty and just instantly sniped a scorpion, which was an amazing move, they're going to go ahead and fall back into the settlement and get ready to defend these beautiful walls. And now we've got the steppe lancers quickly charging into the Illyrian raiders, getting a few kills against them, stopping them from being able to break the wall, and now falling back while another unit of steppe lancers comes in to be able to cycle charge into them. And they're actually going to turn around, give a little bit of a cock tease, and get right in, just trying to take out these raiders and get them off of the battlefield. We got 73 of these lancers remaining, and the next one's going to go ahead and charge in, circle it around to be able to charge and get that nice charge off against these raiders, just taking them out slowly but surely, piece by piece, doing a great job against these guys. Holy crap, these raiders do not stand a chance. We've got more cavalry sallying out. Let's go ahead and try to go over the army comps really quick before too much more starts going on. We've got the Seleucid player, bringing Eastern Spearmen and Hillmen to be able to push up the torch to try to get some initial kills. We've got some Thorax Swordsmen, medium-tier infantry to be able to try and hold the line and do as much damage as possible. 4 units of Syrian heavy archers, and just plenty of Thorax Swordsmen. Where is their general? I do not see it. Please, I see the RDI general. Where is the Seleucid? Oh, the Seleucid general's hiding right in the middle with a silver shield swordsman. Looking at the RDI faction, we've got some Illyrian Thoreo spears, Illyrian noble hoplites. We've got some slave slingers. It looks like we got plenty of these bad boys ready to be able to sling away and try to do as much damage as possible. And then some more Illyrian noble hoplites and Illyrian Thoreo spears. A very good pick indeed. Over here we've got... Oh, I don't remember which one this is. Crud. It's not Royal Cynthia. I don't think it's Roxolani. Maybe it is Roxolani. No, Roxolani is the horny cav, right? Oh man. Hold on. Will it just tell us the steppe lancers, Saka, cataphracts? I cannot remember for the life of me what this faction is called. Please let me know down in the panels below. I cannot remember. They're going to be going ahead and bring in some mercenary Amazonian riders. We got Saka cataphracts, steppe lancers, steppe armored lancers, plenty of cavalry to be able to do plenty of damage. And over on the other side, we've got these steppe lancers that have been trying to harass the front lines, and in combination with another unit of steppe lancers, they were able to take out this unit right here and make sure that it does not do or push up the tortoise to be able to destroy the wall. Looking at the other defending faction, we've got Nervii, we've got units of Gallic Hunters. It looks like we've got 4 units of Gallic Hunters to be exact. We've got some Celtic warriors over on the front line ready to defend. We got some fierce swords ready to charge in and try to get as many kills as possible. Lot of fierce swords, as many as they can bring, and more Celtic warriors with an Oathsworn general. That general will be able to wreak absolute havoc upon their enemies. In my opinion, definitely the best unit in the game. Love to see them. They can do so much damage, and they can live for so long. Now over here, we've got the cavalry beginning to envelop the attacking factions, just forming a couple of semicircles over here. We got this cavalry still trying to move into position. We got the Saka Noble Armored Lancers, a very, very elite unit of cavalry, ready to cause some absolute devastation with some of their horned cavalry. Love to see it. And then we got some more Saka Cataphracts as well. It looks like we've got a slightly more elite section of melee cav over here. And a decent melee cav over here, but I think they put all of their elites over there, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see any of the nobles over here. But they've also got more ranged units over here as well, so it does kind of balance itself out. Now we got the ranged units trying to fire into these slingers, trying to get rid of them, but the slingers are posing a threat, causing a problem to this cavalry, really just mowing them down and doing so much damage. Oh, these Amazonian riders are going to take a beating from those volleys. We got plenty of archers, plenty of slingers over here, ready to be able to just put down the hurt on these archer cavalry. They're trying to do whatever they can to be able to take out these slings, but they just do not have the firepower to be able to deal with them in comparison to the lower numbers of cavalry that they currently have. So the cavalry's just going to have to sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and try to look for another opportunity. And it looks like they are going to be destroying this corner as well, trying to make sure that any archer forces or any forces at all can't move over to this wall. I don't actually know why they destroyed this corner, to be honest, because you've got a way to be able to get up onto this wall over here. You can get up onto this wall over here. I'm curious as to why they destroyed this corner. What is the significance of being able to destroy this corner? But also, they're going to go ahead and utilize their artillery to be able to try and take out these towers and make sure that they cannot rack up some insane kills as well. Definitely not a bad idea at all. If you guys know why they destroyed this corner over here, please let me know, because I mean, I would have assumed it's not to get rid of ways to be able to get your archers up, but I mean, it's blocked by slums on the inside. You can get your archers up over here, you can get your archers up over here, and it's basically the same positioning. So I'm just a little bit confused as to the reasoning of that. It looks like instead of the tower, they're actually favoring shooting their artillery into this fort wall, just trying to make as many breach points as they can so they can hopefully rush inside of the walls and protect themselves from the sheer amount of cavalry that is here. And the cavalry is going to be able to get some great spearside shots on these Illyrian Threo spears, just trying to get as many kills as they possibly can and run away before those slingers get into a good position to be able to sling away and absolutely demolish this cavalry. But right now we are at a standstill, a Mexican standoff. Holy shit, dude. They are so blobbed up right here, which is exactly what they need to be able to do. I always like to say that you want to have a tiered approach to how they have it right here, where they have 1 tier, 2 tier, 3 tier, 4 tier. That way, if the cavalry charges into the front tier, then the rest of the troops behind them can quickly throw in their Pila and just try to get some good kills. It looks like we've got some archer fire potentially going to these cav. The Amazonian riders are trying to get into a good position to do some damage, but the archers are going to clap back, are going to fire their arrows into this cavalry and keep them from being able to do too much damage. The archers are going to reposition. The cavalry is going to move back in, and they're just going to try to continue to do some work and weaken these archers as much as they can. And the archers are getting ready to be able to fire back. The cavalry fires, but the archers are starting to fire back as well. Oh, that cavalry unit, that Amazonian rider just took a beating. These poor bastards just took so much damage. They have 41 out of 80 men remaining, just about half. Those archers are doing an amazing job of killing this cavalry with 29 kills so far. 2 kills on these guys. 20 kills on slingers. Overall, doing an amazing job of just trying to get as many kills as they possibly can. And we've got some Amazonian riders over here looking for a good opportunity to be able to continue to fire into these lines. But right now, they're just wasting time. If the defenders are able to waste enough time, they could be one of the first people to win by time in Total War League Siege, which could be a really cool accomplishment indeed, and a very memorable one. Over here, we got a little bit of troop movement. We got some Threo spears, some Illyrian Threo spears, some slingers just starting to move up. It looks like they might be slowly but surely beginning to inch their army towards the settlement. Again, if they can get inside of the settlement, then it's going to make the cavalry's job a lot harder to be able to try to go in and just get as many kills as they possibly can. We've got a lot of cavalry, mercenary Amazonian riders around here, steppe armored lancers, steppe lancers, sack of cataphracts just surrounding them, completely enveloping them. And then we've got cavalry just continuously harassing these Syrian heavy archers, just trying to do as much damage as they can, while their nearby tower is also doing some really good damage. But it looks like both players are going to start to move up. Looks like we got the Amazonian riders. I don't know if they charged in on purpose, or maybe they were just trying to get some good shots on these nobles, but they did get caught up a little bit by some Illyrian noble hoplites. Nothing major, no major damage. The hoplites got 1 kill against them so far, but still very, very interesting. If the cavalry had gotten caught out by those nobles, it would have been a rough battle indeed. And now we've got the Celtic warriors quickly forming a semicircle position to be able to hold this roadway right here for as long as they can, hopefully giving their cavalry allies enough time to be able to get in there and get some massive kills. Over on this side, we've got the Eastern Spearmen from the Seleucid player quickly pushing up the tortoises and just breaking wall after wall after wall, just trying to get rid of these walls so that way they can just march their entire army in with ease, get inside of the settlement, and just start butchering the Nervii player. He's got a lot of really good units, but the issue is that he is outnumbered. His cavalry ally is outside, and right now he's peppering, he's harassing. But he's not able to get too many kills as of yet, and that cavalry really needs to find an opportunity to get in there and just decimate some units. Now we've got the cavalry trying to fire into these Illyrian noble hoplites, but they quickly turn to be able to save themselves from the fire that is coming in from this cav. And so far, nothing major has happened. These mercenary Amazonian riders only have 2 kills. These guys have 9. What about the other ones? These guys have 0. These guys have 9. So these Amazonian riders really haven't done too much damage against their opponents yet, but they still have ammo. They still have an opportunity. But the attackers are doing an amazing job of keeping back their cavalry and just trying to make sure that the cavalry cannot get any good shots into their troops. And it looks like we have our first entrance here, guys. We have a unit of Eastern Spearmen quickly moving into the settlement to be able to stop this tower from firing into their troops, to be able to stop them from being able to get free kills and just take over this tower. So hopefully it'll start firing into the defenders and help out the attackers as much as they can. We got archer fire starting to go into the Celtic warriors. A lot of that archer fire is going to go into the wall now that the Celtic warriors have repositioned, but just trying to make it harder for those archers to be able to get some good kills. But great job by the attackers trying to loosen up or weaken the defending forces before they bum rush inside of there. And the walls are crumbling. Wall after wall is being destroyed by the Eastern by the Eastern Spearmen, by the Hillmen, and these walls, I mean, after having spent years upon years just trying to place down the stonework for these walls and complete them, generation after generation, the attackers are destroying it as if it is nothing, having the capability to do so, and these walls are extremely exposed, extremely open, and we got the archers continuing to fire into the Celtic warriors, overhead shots, just trying to get some kills on them and do as much damage as they possibly can. We've got a little bit of return fire here from the Gallic hunters, which is actually taking a lot of fire from the heavy siege towers situated right behind. A great position for these siege towers to be able to try and get some kills and do as much work against their opponents as they possibly can. The siege towers right now are focusing down the Gallic hunters. Every time that they sit up to be able to try and get a shot on their opponents, then they expose themselves to the towers, which is going to quickly shoot their shots and try to get as many kills as they possibly can. We had a sally out from a unit of Celtic warriors quickly charging into the Hillmen, just trying to harass them, but getting countered by some archers, being able to do a little bit of damage to the Hillmen. 24 kills so far, 145 men remaining. They're going to go ahead and fall back into the settlement, sit back, relax, and await their moment. Man, I really cannot speak English today. I mean, not that I could ever speak English, but man, awaiting their moment of glory, so that way they can hopefully get as many kills as they possibly can and hold back those that wish to take everything that they know and love from them. The Illyrian player, or the RDI player, is situating their army to face out against the cavalry. A spear-heavy faction with a lot of projectiles is a great counter to any cavalry faction that is brought to the battlefield, and RDI was an excellent choice against this sally out. knowing this team as well. Off Meta Incorporated are such a great team with some great players. And they can definitely micro some cavalry. They can definitely do a lot of work and get a lot of kills. So I do not blame them for taking a really good anti-cav faction. Ooh, and we got them pouring into the settlement, guys. This is the moment of truth. The settlement pour. We've got the Seleucid player moving pretty much their entire army inside of the settlement. Archers, Eastern Spearmen, the Rayo Spears, Thorax Horsemen, everything that they can muster is being brought into the settlement now and engaged with some Celtic warriors. Celtic warriors trying to keep this arrow tower alive so that way the arrow tower will continue to get as many kills as they possibly can. Taking a little bit of fire from the projectiles of the Thoreo spears. They got to be careful. They turned their backs for just a moment, and that moment was just enough for those Thoreo spears to quickly start throwing their spears into their backs and trying to get as many kills as possible. But we have a line of Celtic warriors just awaiting their moment, trying to hold the line for as long as they can, utilizing their Pila capabilities to really weaken these guys. The Seleucid player doing a great move of moving up the Eastern Spearmen first to be able to try and force these Celtic warriors, or I should say successfully force these Celtic warriors to waste their projectiles on the Eastern Spearmen, so that way they don't waste the projectiles on a better unit like Thorax Swordsman or Thoreo Spears. We've even got some RDI units starting to move into the fray, some Illyrian Noble Hoplites as well as Slave Javelin Men moving into the settlement to be able to start getting some kills. Slowly but surely, piece by piece, the troops are moving in. And it looks like the cavalry is starting to move up closer as well. How close, I don't know. But the cavalry is trying to get into a good position to be able to hopefully charge in while whenever this front line is weakened and try to get as many kills as they possibly can. Over on this side, we've got a unit of Eastern Spearmen beginning to break against the might of the Celtic warriors, but we've got the medium tier Thorax Swordsmen in the fray fighting against Nervii's troops and just trying to get as many kills and take them out as quickly as possible. The Thoreo Spears in a great position to be able to get some side and flanking fire into these Celtic warriors, which are going to go ahead and try to charge into this small gap and keep these Thoreo spears from firing, which they are going to quickly retreat. And now these Celtic warriors are surrounded by so many sides, and we got a cavalry charge. Oh, we missed the initial part, but now we've got some Saka Cataphracts charging to the front line. We got Step Armored Lancers quickly charging into the ranged forces. We've got the Step Armored Lancers quickly charging into the front line, causing complete havoc, breaking one unit of Slave Slingers. We've got a unit of Step Lancers, 3 men remaining, 70 kills that are now shattered and completely out of the fight. The Saka Noble Armored Lancers are now going to go ahead and charge in, get into these Illyrian Thoreo Spears, try to get into the flank of some of these Illyrian Noble Hoplites, while the rest of these forces are firing. You got Cataphracts, Horse Archers, Saka Cataphract Horse Archers in the background, trying to get their fire in, trying to do as much damage as possible, but the cavalry is in. The cavalry is trying to do as much damage as possible, and the first wave is in with 147 kills on these guys, 8 kills on these guys, 13 kills on these guys. We got a unit of Illyrian Thoreo Spears starting to break, starting to waver with so many men remaining, and they have broken with 109 men remaining. This general is in the fray, completely surrounded, but distracting so many different units. The general's going to go ahead and try to fall back and make sure that they do not lose it, because with that morale gone, it would be devastating. And now we've got a ton of archers just trying to focus down some of these troops, trying to get as many kills as possible. We got the Saka Cataphracts in the fray, trying to do as much work as possible. Over on the other side, we've got more and more slingers that have broken off of the battlefield. We've got even more cavalry somehow sneaking through and getting into some of these Syrian heavy archers. Holy smokes, we've got 39 kills on these guys so far. They are just about dead, but they are in the archers, just trying to quickly take them out. We got Eastern Spearmen trying to defend the archers as well as some Thoreo Spears, but the cavalry is just in here trying to get as many kills as they possibly can, trying to put in the work. And all the while, Nervii is taking this opportunity, taking this distraction to be able to continue to cycle in and out with some fierce swords and Celtic warriors, trying to get as many kills on this front line as possible, break through, and potentially help their allied cavalry. This unit of Saka Cataphracts is chasing down this unit of Illyrian Thoreo Spears, trying to make sure that they do not come back, and then soon they will charge into this unit of Slave Slingers and break them for good. But the cavalry was able to do a lot of damage against a lot of those ranged troops. We got Step Lancers that found an opportunity. I found a gap to be able to get in some of these Slave Slingers to be able to try and take them out, take out that range capability. But they are getting absolutely focused down by the Silver Shield Swordsmen and a lot of the troops that are here, and they are going to break. They got a few kills against the Slave Slingers, but was it enough? And now we got the Amazonian Riders continuing to fire into these troops, trying to do as much damage as possible. And that was just the first wave. We still got more troops brought to you by the cavalry faction, ready to move in at a moment's notice and try to get as many kills as possible. Over on the front line, Nervii is continuing to hold 59 kills in these guys, 33 kills, 90 kills, 103 kills, still holding this front line, is trying to do as much damage as possible. We got some Illyrian Thureos spears. Archers actually beginning to break as well, but we got some Illyrian Thureos spears trying to fire into this front line. Get rid of these fierce swords. We've only got 38 men remaining on this fierce swords and 36 kills so far. We've got more and more troops moving up to the front line. Gallic hunters over here just trying to focus fire on some of these archers as well, breaking a unit of Syrian heavies, but they are taking some return fire, which they will not win this fight against the Syrian heavy archers. The Gallic hunters are going to fall back and become hidden yet again, so that way they'll stop the archer fire from going into them, but just trying to harass them as much as they can. I would almost position a unit right here and try to get some volleys down on this depleted unit of thorax swordsmen and break them, but the Celtic warriors with 68 kills are beginning to break. They're going to need more troops up here, which looks like he's sending over another unit of Celtic warriors to the front line to be able to help support this front line and do as much damage as possible. We got the Saka Cataphracts noble horse archers on the front line, trying to get some good fire into the flank of some of these troops, trying to help support that front line, especially now that there's not too many troops over on this right side to be able to fire into them. If he can get some good supporting fire, then he'll be able to get some really good kills. Popping off precision shot. They're trying to look for a great opportunity to be able to fire into the settlement. It looked like they were about to fire, but now they're going to move here pretty quick. We got this unit of Celtic warriors on the inside, 50 men remaining, 116 kills, beginning to break against the might of these forces. 49 men remaining. They have returned to their senses, returned to the fight. Celtic warriors on the front line. Archers continuing to do a great job against these Syrian heavies, doing a great job of shattering one of them with 78 kills. Now they need to focus down the unit of 33 and try to take them out, but now the archers are going to take a lot of return fire. They need to fall back, hide again, and get ready to fire yet again. We got the Gallic hunters over on this side also firing into the Syrian heavies, trying to break them, trying to do as much damage as possible, but they are getting completely and utterly focused down. They've got to be careful. They're going to halt their fire, but they are still not hidden. They need to move to a better position because they are still taking fire. They've got to be careful because the death of those archers would be devastating to the defenders. We've got more cataphracts, more units going into the front line. The Amazonian riders quickly charging in with Saka cataphracts close behind, moving into these units, just trying to get as many kills as possible. 17 kills so far, 37 kills. The archers not doing too great. How many kills? 23 kills on these guys, 47 kills, and these guys are very depleted. We've got, that's the what? Why was it showing Osworn? That's weird. 115 kills on the stepped armored lancers. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And we got the general unit as well as another unit of Amazonian riders in here, just trying to focus down whatever they can to do as much damage, as much work as they can on their opponents to help their Nervii player get some kills. We got some Illyrian noble hoplites over on the side, being able to get some side hits on the Celtic warriors. We got a unit of Celtic warriors trying to hold them back, but there are breakages happening over here on the front line, and Nervii is going to have to quickly send up some more troops, which looks like they are with their fierce swords. We've got another unit of fierce swords quickly charging these hillmen. They're going to go ahead and charge in, try to take them out as soon as possible, and potentially make another gap to be able to get into some more troops. The cavalry over here are starting to break a unit of Illyrian Thureos spears. They've got 81 kills so far. These guys have 118 kills. They are breaking against the might of the thorax swordsmen, but they are really trying to do as much damage as they possibly can, and the cav is all but out of the battle. We got the general unit still over here. We got another unit of Saka Cataphract Horde archers and a couple of depleted units still in the fight, but will it be enough? Did they do enough damage for Nervii to be able to clean this up, or are they going to fall, leaving the settlement open for the invaders to take over, make their homes, and steal their loot? These fierce swords are taking a beating. The archers are focusing them down. They do not have the armor to be able to support themselves, so it's a great target for these archers. These Gallic hunters need to quickly start firing back at these archers and keep them from being able to fire into these troops and do damage. But so far, they're just sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying the show. And we've got some I was about to say some food, some fodder on the front line. We got a unit of Celtic warriors with 56 men remaining. Got a unit of Celtic warriors with 41 men remaining, 60 kills, 67 kills over on these guys, still holding the front line, but for how long? We got a unit of fierce swords over here close by. Another unit of fierce swords quickly moving up. A fierce sword over here fighting against some troops, 102 kills so far, fighting against the thorax swordsman, presumably cycle charging, trying to get as many kills as possible. These guys are beginning to break, 7 men remaining, 81 kills. Really just trying to do as much damage against the noble hoplites as they possibly can. But now it's just coming down to 2 units of archers or horse archers left over. Will they be able to... Oh, actually, we do have 1 unit of step noble lancers still alive in the background as well. 1 last cav ready to charge in at a moment's notice and try to get as many kills as they possibly can. Over on this side, we got the Fierce Swords just trying to use their javelin capabilities to fire into the Seleucid player, try to get rid of some of these Thorax Swordsmen, get rid of some of these frontline units, and do as much damage as possible. These archers have taken a beating, and they are very clumped up. They got to be careful, because this is a fantastic target for the Seleucid archers. They are exposed, and they just have to be careful. But they are going to go ahead and start firing into some of these javelin men, start firing into some of these troops, and just try and get rid of some of these guys. But now they are going to take the return fire, the absolute devastating fire effect of these Seleucid archers, and they are going to begin to crumble like a dry-ass cookie on a summer's afternoon. These guys will not be able to survive for much longer, especially if the archers all start to turn on them. They will crumble instantly. We got a unit of Thorax Swordsmen starting to break with 203 kills, 15 men remaining, but the unit of depleted Celtic warriors look like they might break relatively soon as well. We got the Frenzied Charge moving in with the Fierce Swords, charging in some of these Illyrian noble hoplites, just trying to melt them as quickly as possible. Over on this side, we got a unit of Eastern Spearmen beginning to break against the Fierce Swords with 87 kills, just continuously cycling in and out, trying to get as many kills as they possibly can. But this is about it. The defenders are out of melee units other than their general to be able to send over to the front line. So it's going to come to this front line to be able to hold the line and try to get as many kills as possible. We've got a unit of Illyrian noble hoplites that have broken through the fray, leaving a gap right here for the attackers to potentially utilize and get around some more of these troops. The Fierce Swords are starting to rack up kills, 97 kills in these guys, 65 kills in these guys. This unit of Celtic warriors with 20 men remaining are starting to waver with 89 men, 89 kills and 18 men remaining. They are falling just like these archers, 2 of which have broken now, and 2 of which have barely any men remaining. Those Seleucid archers have done a number on these guys. They need to fall back and hide just like this man, but this one still isn't hidden. We got the Oathsworn General nearby, but we got some flanking troops, some Silver Shield Swordsmen starting to flank some of these forces. The Fierce Swords are going to go ahead and side charge into these Silver Shield Swordsmen and just try to take them out. Try to do as much damage as possible. We got the general nearby, the Sack and Cataphract horse archers, trying to pop some abilities on their friendly troops, just trying to provide some morale, any sort of boost that they can for this front line. We've got a unit of Fierce Swords with 84 men remaining on the front line, starting to break. The general is going to get absolutely focused down, and he's about to have to show his sword side as well. He is about to get charged. The Oathsworn is not going to return the charge, and instead just going to sit there and take it and get completely surrounded by the noble hoplites. Hopefully they'll be able to finish this off, but now we've got a noble unit of Thorax Swordsmen coming around the flank to be able to finish off breaking this front line. We've still got a couple of Fierce Swords over here on the side, just trying to rack up as many kills as they possibly can and try to get past these units and do as much damage as they can. But the amount of nobles that are here, I'm not sure if they can do it. And now it is just going to come down to the Oathsworn General as well as the other cavalry that are left outside of the battlefield. But it is not over yet. I have seen so many miracles happen in this game, and you never know what might happen next. The general's going to go ahead and fall back, trying to find a better position to be able to hold off some of these forces. I don't know exactly where he's falling back to. He's going to move over to the side, leave a little bit of a gap here, try to make sure that he can't get sword side shot by the archer forces, but he's going to get ready to be able to fight whoever charges into the fray, charges into this location. The cavalry general is going to go ahead and fall back. He is getting chased down by some Illyrian Thoreo spears with 60 kills. The general's going to go ahead and fall back, still having ammo left over. He's going to start to fire into the fronts of these Illyrian Thoreo spears. It won't do much, but hopefully it will make them think twice about charging into the general, especially if he still has ammunition left. And now the Oathsworn are going to go ahead and completely pepper down these noble hoplites. The noble hoplites are going to get slightly around and leave some gaps over here on the front line. The hoplites are going to get charged by the Oathsworn. Hopefully they'll be able to break here sooner rather than later. We've got a couple of troops. We've got some Thorax Swordsmen coming around the flank, which are going to be able to completely surround the Oathsworn. The Oathsworn are going to go ahead and charge into some Thorax Swordsmen, into some Illyrian Illyrian noble hoplites to try to do as much damage as they can. It's going to go ahead and pop Headhunt and just try to get some kills, rack up those kills with the Oathsworn with 125 men, 57 kills so far. He is going to fight against the elite units, but he is about to get completely surrounded by some more forces. We've got a depleted unit of Fierce Swords, so that it's quickly trying to fall back to the general. The trumpet has been heard. The call has been heard. Fall back to the center, they said. Fall back and hold with everything that you can, and the Fierce Swords are doing just that, not knowing that they are one of the very few units that are left on the defending side. The Oathsworn are going to go ahead and pop second wind, try to go ahead and keep themselves fresh. They're going to go ahead and turn around and charge into this unit of Illyrian nobles, try and break them as soon as they possibly can. The archers are putting whatever fire that they have into these forces, doing whatever damage that they possibly can. The Oathsworn are quickly falling because they're completely surrounded by Thorax swordsmen and Illyrian nobles. The Oathsworn have 84 men remaining. The Fierce Swords are going to go ahead and charge into the Illyrian noble hoplites, but close behind, we see more and more troops starting to flood in. What is this cavalry doing? He's still sitting on the outside, relaxing. Come on, Steppe Noble Lancers. Why? Why are you still over here? What is going on? Oh man, the Noble Lancers just don't know what to do. They're just enjoying the scenery. They do not care. They're enjoying this nice hill. It's a beautiful hill with some trees, looking absolutely gorgeous. Their family, they had multiple different family members buried over on this hill. It's a graveyard area, so they're just, reliving the past, and the defenders are breaking. The general has broken. We've got a unit of Illyrian Thureo spears on the outside beginning to break as well, but as far as troops on the inside of the settlement goes, there are none, and it is just cavalry left over, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the end of this battle. Let's go ahead and end the replay here and look at some kills. We've got Artificial being the top kills in this battle with 1,862 kills. Jamham being the second most with 1,778 kills. Mouse being with 1,558 kills and 1,460 kills with Donald. Jam getting 106 kills with the Oathsworn, 145, 138, 152, 115, 110, 133, 116. Artificial getting 273, 209, 161, 185, 131, 203, 165, 138. Looking over at Donald and Mouse. Donald getting 168, 143, 151, 160, 177, 124. And then last but certainly not least, we've got Mouse with 203, 198, 138, 165, 120. Overall, a fantastic battle, guys. Again, if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you loved it, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.